We're going to do things to Nigeria that Nigeria is not going to be happy about.
While Nigerians and the world await the next action of US President Donald Trump, following his ultimatum to the Nigerian government to protect people from the front lines, not just Christians, but every Nigerian deserves to be protected from insecurity, from marauding terrorists, from all the security challenges that Nigeria has continued to face since the past decade. And the reason for the anxiety is because, if you remember, the last time Donald Trump threatened that the United States will intervene in Iran, but at the time he made that statement, he said that he will take a decision in 2 weeks. At the end of the day, it took him only 3 days to take that decision. In fact, by that 4th day, US fighter jets were all over the Iranian airspace. So, bearing that in mind, and coupled with the fact that the Nigerian military and Nigerian government are still not able to get things under control, there are reports of killings the past few days since Donald Trump made that threat to intervene in Nigeria. So you can understand why many are expecting a serious action in Nigeria, not later, but in a near imminent manner. Also, it is no longer news that the plans about how they would intervene in Nigeria have been laid before the US President by the US Africa Command. As if these plans aren't enough, they are now considering taking Tinubu out. Yes, that's according to Mike Arnold. Remember this man? He was on Arise TV. Before all this started, he's been investigating the massacres of Christians in Nigeria for the past 15 years. He's been coming to Nigeria, visiting all the time with photojournalists. He's covered everything going on in Nigeria. So it's not as if anyone will come and start telling him, these are lies, they are like this. No, he's even more informed than many Nigerians living in Nigeria. Mike Arnold, posting this on his verified X handle, said, "The Nigerian government and their media puppets are in full panic mode, scrambling to stop international scrutiny, terrified of real intervention, but they are not offering solutions. Just lies, deflection, empty outrage. Why? Because the truth is this: the Nigerian government is not merely failing to stop terrorism, it is built to accommodate it. They empower those who believe it is righteous to kill for faith, tribe, or ideology. They don't fight extremists. They welcome them, protect them, bow to them. This isn't cowardice. It's not just complicity. It is one with evil. Where the world sees terrorists, Nigeria's ruling class sees constituents, voting blocs, coalition partners, bosses, money, until we dismantle the belief that some lives are disposable. The blood will not stop, and this may require dismantling the government built by those who embrace it. No society that permits this ideology to flourish will last, and no system that protects it deserves to." It's so heartbreaking. It brings one to tears that foreigners living in faraway countries, people that are not related to Nigerians in any way, they care about Nigerians. Because of humanity, they show Nigerians love more than their fellow citizens who live in one country. These people have seen what is happening in Nigeria. Nigerians are some sort of conquered people. They no longer express outrage. Things don't move Nigerians anymore. They've seen worse. In fact, they don't feel that anything can surprise them anymore. That's why many people can lose their lives today. Nigerians will do nothing. Things that will provoke serious riots, serious protests in nearby countries, Nigerians will say, it's a usual thing. It happens every day. They will simply continue minding their business. But look at it, foreigners are doing what we are not even doing. The worst part in all this is that the people that are charged with protecting Nigerians, they do nothing. Starting from their commanders, all the army chiefs, all of them do nothing. Even Tinubu feels that his job is just to appoint someone who will do the job, just appoint chief of army staff or appoint any commander, do anything, that his job is finished. But that's not what leadership is all about. You have to make sure that the people you appoint are up and doing, are competent. If they don't do the job, sack them and appoint people who will do the job. This is 2025. We should not be behaving as if we are still in 1960s. How can you say, the job of an administrator is to appoint someone and allow that person, give the person free hand to do the job, that you should not correct that person while he's doing that job? How long are you going to allow that person be on the job when his main job, he has not been able to do it? The insecurity persists and you allow people to keep their jobs for months and years. So this is the problem. And when you hear testimonies of other foreigners who continue to show humanity to Nigerians, no one paid them to do all this. It is just because of that love for their fellow human, not minding race or ethnicity. They show that love just because of humanity. In summary, Nigerians should stop tolerating incompetent people, whether the person is an army chief, police IG, commissioner of police, DPO, president, governor, House of Rep member, senator, whoever that person is. Once Nigerians pay his salary, that person must not be tolerated. The person must be forced to leave that seat. He must leave that position for a competent person. The time has passed to start saying, he has been elected, let's allow him finish his term. You want to allow an incompetent person to complete his term in office while thousands continue to perish? No. It is because we tolerate all this. That's why they do not do their jobs. They know you will never revolt. You will never troop out and say, no, enough is enough. We can no longer tolerate this. Either you do the job or you quit. If Nigerians start holding them to this standard, you will see them sit up and do all the right things. And as you know, action equals reaction. If something happens in the country and Nigerians fail to react in a commensurate manner, that failure actually sends the wrong message to the leaders. It shows them that, hey, we even thought that this was very grave, that it would have provoked a protest from Nigerians, but they didn't do anything. So it will motivate them to do worse in the future. It means we are failing in our duties as citizens. That's the reality. If you fail to react, politicians will become even emboldened. They will say, Nigerians don't react to anything, don't bother. So these are the issues. And to even imagine that at this point that they are under pressure from the US, from other countries, that they are expected to do the right thing for once. They are busy doing all the wrong things. Can you imagine that the National Assembly members are already working on a law that will target people they claim are helping US or other countries to destabilize Nigeria? They've never thought about any law that will target terrorists or target their collaborators or target all the security agents that are their agents inside Nigerian military, inside the police, inside all the other security agencies. They've never thought about any law that will target all these people. Any law that will stop insecurity or discourage insecurity, laws that will make Nigeria better. They never thought about all of them. But now they are under pressure. Instead of doing all the right thing to at least try and impress people, impress Nigerians, impress world leaders, make it look as if, this was just an oversight. We are trying our best. We will do better. We will show the world that this is not intentional. We will try and hit them hard. This must stop. They are not thinking about all this. They are just thinking about self-preservation. How they will continue in power without doing all the jobs of people in power. You want to be called a president, but you don't want to do the job of the president. You always try to claim glory for whatever, but you never try to take responsibility when it comes to failure. The buck stops at the table of the president. He commands all the security agencies in Nigeria, including the Army, Air Force, Navy, all of them. So if there is security failure, the buck stops at your table. You cannot say, I've appointed someone who will do the job. Hold that person responsible. No, that person is not the ultimate commander. So not that Nigerians are at fault. No, Nigerians can't do everything, but they must start to do their part. Yes, if you allow them to get away with all this, it emboldens them to do worse in the future. That means if they are planning to do two, maybe in 2027, that's if that's going to even happen in the first place. If they are planning to do two and you have failed to respond to the one they did, they will do 3 or 4 or 5 when the time comes. Now let's hear what this man of Truth Nigeria said, how they informed Nigerian military about the intelligence they had at the time of attack at Yelwata, and they failed to respond. They failed to do anything. Let's take a listen.
Here's a crazy thing about that attack was our organization, truthnigeria.com, had information that this attack was going to occur 3 weeks before it happened. We had intelligence, and we issued a terror alert 3 weeks before the attack happened. Now, when Truth Nigeria issues a terror alert, we notified the Nigerian government. We notified the Nigerian police and the military. And they did nothing. They did nothing to prepare. Then we got word, hey, the terrorists are mobilizing. They are going to attack Yelwata. And we issued a terror alert 24 hours before the attack. It said, hey, they're mobilizing. We're seeing boots on the ground. They are going to attack. And for over 5 hours, the military was 1 kilometer away and did not engage and allowed the terrorists to massacre all these people.